Hi, Yashika. Welcome to Quick Shots. So let's start off. Can you tell me about your contributions to Bloggers Alliance?
Hi Pranavi, thanks for having me. Uh, so in fact, the conversation around Bloggers Alliance started with a conversation with Dr. Nagpal. He happens to be, of course, a great conversationalist, and then we eventually struck a chord and a bond, and that's how my entry into Bloggers Alliance officially came about. So started from being a member, then eventually, we very close to the pandemic did the first one of the initial bloggers meets at Indore, and that was a very interesting one because that was just the pre-COVID era, and we saw some wonderful footfall, but yeah, of course, things changed and pivoted from there. But one of the things is that we still kept afloat and things kept moving, even though the pandemic hit. Uh, we did two very interesting competitions across two consecutive years. I think 2021 and 22. We did the Battle of Voices, which was a podcast competition. And what began the very first podcast competition, it was actually one of the very first podcast competitions overall, early 2021, I believe. And we saw some great footfall, really good footfall. Over 75 to 80 entries is what we saw. And not only India, pan India, but there were entries from even abroad. There were some entries from USA and UAE as well. Um, the subsequent, series for the Battle of Voices was another interesting one. So that happened too, and that was great. That was one that happened very recent, not recently, but well, about 7, 8 months ago. Then moved on to becoming, of course, I've been the chief editor, so there's been blogger, vlogger, and all the other press materials that keep going out there. Became the VP for the podcast community. So I've been contributing for podcast sessions, storytelling sessions, helping young students with their podcast. And then, of course, the Pune chapter launch was the latest feather in the cap, which, Badal, myself, and Dr. Nagpal had, along with Mr. Devendra, we all got together and did something cool, a very interesting way to sort of put stuff together in Pune. So looking forward, good things ahead.
Sure, that sounds wonderful. So, can you also tell me about some of your learnings being at Bloggers Alliance?
So, actually, it's a very core again, the learnings. Like I said, Dr. Nagpal has been a great companion, mentor, sounding board, friend, guide, whatever you may call it. And one of the key things that he brings to the table is that openness of learning, giving, and also, sort of reverse learning strategies. So he'll also listen to you and try and incorporate things, which is great, and sets the tone right. Devendra ji is amazing to work with. He brings in a very different and a interesting angle as well. Some of the learnings, particularly at a very deeper level, I feel the fact that we've been able to sort of stay afloat even amidst the pandemic, uh, been able to manage doing virtual meetings, virtual conversations, the entire series of the Battle of Voices, the podcast competitions, all of it was virtual. So the fact that we managed to stay afloat even during tough times, and build the community by and large with partnerships with NASCOM, with Reliance, and so forth. That I think that's been one of the key ways that you sort of think that, okay, if this is possible, then much more is.
Okay. So, what are your future plans? Where do you see yourself?
Future plans with Bloggers Alliance or just
Yes,
overall?
both. You could
Okay.
just cover both.
So, I think what I will do is I will cover Bloggers Alliance overall in general, but, the idea is to take, build the community, take it to another level now that things are moving forward with with a lot of digital elements and technology coming about, it'll be interesting to see how we can also grow with the times growing. So, blogging has evolved, writing has evolved with ChatGPT. So, I think lots will evolve with the community as well. And given that we have partners in, say, a NASCOM or a Reliance, I think keeping up with technology shouldn't be a challenge for us anyway. So because we have our mentors in the right place, in the right and the heart in the right place as well. So a couple of things. I think looking forward to take the podcasting community to another level. There should be interesting versions. I think digital versions of the blogger, more community engagements, more interactions with young folks. I mean, look at you. You and I are talking today, and you're the young guns. A lot to learn from uh, people like you, young energies. So looking forward to bringing this all of this together, the student community together, and then of course we, as much as we give them, we must learn from them. So what is it that they need to level up and scale up, and then we pivot and plan accordingly. So taking the Pune chapter and the blogging community, and of course with younger students to the next level. That would be interesting to see.
Right. So looking forward for all of that and wishing you a lot of success for all your future plans. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
Pranavi. Thanks for the time, and thanks for being a patient host.
Thank you.